Everything that lives is designed to end. We are perpetually trapped in a never-ending spiral of life and death. Is this a curse? Or some kind of punishment? I often think about the god who blessed us with this cryptic puzzle, and wonder if we'll ever have the chance to kill him.
NieR Automata is a Square Enix and Platinum Games developed video game that came out in 2017. Out of the mind of the mad genius that is Yoko Taro, whose previous works include Replicant on PlayStation 2 and NieR Replicant, which got a remake out last year. Those two games are the only ones that matter because NieR Automata is a direct sequel to them. For context, this is a two-part explanation video where I try to explain what this game is about and try to summarize my experience in going through it. So something different from those recap reviews and not a first time playing Supercut. Also, I owe a lot of background music from my videos to this game, and by extension to Keiichi Okabe, so I pretty much owe it to make a video out of this game. Before I begin, I need to quickly go through some context about the two games leading to Automata. Replicant was a PlayStation 2 game that had 5 different endings. The 5th ending E had the protagonist, his dragon companion, and the final boss fall from their fantasy world through a rift into Shinjuku district in Tokyo, Japan. Unfortunately, after winning, both were shot down by the Japanese Air Force, and their otherworldly magical remains were spread first to Japan, and then to the rest of the world when the United States decided to nuke the entire island nation. Meaning that when the end of the world started in 2003, anime was the first thing to go. By 2053, most of the humanity had fallen victim to what was called the White Chlorination Syndrome, and that was the setup for NieR Replicant. There was a project called Gestalt that tried to keep the humanity still around, but I'm not going to spoil what happens at the end of Replicant in 2564. Automata takes place in the year 11,342, with 7,000 or so year gap being filled with short stories, 2 stage plays, manga, and drama CDs. According to this Yoko Taro fan, whose videos got me into these games, Square Enix has been wanting to turn NieR into a franchise for some time now, which couldn't be too far from the truth since there is an anime on the way too. Now let's get onto the game itself, and before we begin, here are the time codes to different sections if you want to come back later and need bookmarks to pick this up. The game opens with a bullet hell where androids are flying towards an enemy stronghold in an old factory, and all but one of them are shot down by the enemy machines. This lone survivor lands into another ambush where the game's hack and slash mechanics are introduced in a sword fighting machines until another android comes to assist. These two are the main characters of the game starting for now. The female design is designated as Unit Number 2 Type B, and the younger male one is designated as Unit 9 Type S for scanner, or 2B and 9S for short. For now, we control 2B as a battle android or a combat unit going through the factory looking for a large machine life form that her squadron had been ordered to search and destroy. After going through the factory, 2B finds the large Goliath-class machine and fights against it alone until 9S, who had some scanning duties, comes to assist her in battle. Both of them are damaged badly in fighting this one machine, and when 3 more of them show up, 9S uploads their android data to the bunker server so they can self-destruct and take the machines with their old bodies while they wake up in new android bodies. 2B wakes up with a new body in the Yorha bunker in the orbit. 9S, however, didn't get his data uploaded with 2B, so he doesn't remember their previous experience the two had, which based on 2B's reaction seems to bother her. Yorha is then explained as an extension of the Council of Humanity who are hiding in the moon, of which mission is to fight the alien invasion that has plagued Earth since 5012, and got a retaliation from these androids to fight them on 5204. Yorha is led by Commander Android.
Her hair was the color of gold in old paintings. She had a full set of curves, and the kind of legs you'd like to suck on for a day. She was giving me a look I could feel in my hip pocket. Yep, This was starting to get interesting.
And operated by operators who work with the combat and scanner units fighting those aliens. After rebooting from their previous mission, the commander sends 2B and 9S back to Earth to make contact with a resistance group, of which leader Anemone provides them with support in fighting the machines. Eventually, they are sent to the desert zone where they come across those machines trying to repeat human behavior, and then this thing comes out of them. The fight against this Ken doll is a small challenge for an early boss, but luckily I have seen Matti Nykänen's life story movie.
Hän on täällä tänään. Kaikkien Suomen naisten märkä päiväuni ja munattomien miesten pahin painajainen.
Ultimately, 2B and 9S beat the Ken doll, which spawns out another one, and they run away when they can. Returning to the Resistance camp, Anemone tells them about more machines in an abandoned amusement park where they run into the next boss called Simone. This was a rather interesting boss with the music and how creepy she was portrayed here. Beating Simone leads to the introduction of a machine village led by Cut Out of the Machine Network by Pascal, a male machine with a female voice who believes in pacifism and has been working with Anemone's resistance. After verifying that with Anemone, more Goliath-type machines attack and the fight against them causes a cave-in that reveals an underground facility, where those aliens supposedly in charge of the machine network are found long dead with those Ken dolls, who identify as brothers calling themselves Adam and Eve. This part is more of a conversation than a boss fight where it requires to survive to the end until Adam and Eve leave after announcing that they want to cut open the humans on the moon. After reporting this to their commander, she sends 2B and 9S to get more information out of Pascal, who then points out them to another machine community cut out from the network. On the way to this forest kingdom, 2B and 9S come across Emile from NieR Replicant, but he is not that important of a character to talk about yet. Reaching this forest kingdom, 2B and 9S find Machine's king assassinated by another android, A2, who they learn to be a deserter from Yorha. 2B and 9S fight A2 until she runs away, and after reporting their failure to terminate her, they go ask Pascal if he knows anything about A2. No, he does not, but Pascal does know that A2 used to be friends with Anemone back before she abandoned Yorha. On the way to ask Anemone about her connections to A2, 2B and 9S come across Emile again and help him reclaim his memories by locating a rare flower called the Lunar Tear. As Emile reclaims his memories, he also shares his experiences from fighting the now deceased aliens back when they first invaded Earth, and thanks 2B and 9S for having helped him remember and the important place he once built in the memory of a dear friend of his. Then they go to Anemone, who has not heard from A2, or number 2 as she knew her, for years and is audibly saddened by her old friend being ordered for termination. She still holds on to cooperation with Yorha and informs them about a mission on the coast where they need to protect a large cannon. After they have kept this cannon from being destroyed by the machines, 2B and 9S are ordered to be a part of another machine termination mission on the air at the sea. They don their flight units and fly to the sea and destroy all machines in sight before the next boss, this gigantic machine which is fought in a very stressful bullet hell of just shooting at its weak points. Then 9S suggests using that cannon to destroy the machine, but that only makes it stronger. At this point, Pascal comes to offer emotional support and 9S leaves to get a missile to shoot at the machine. Following this working, 9S goes missing and 2B wakes up later to learn all this happened. Getting back to Anemone's resistance camp, 2B's pod 042 is upgraded with a scanner to look for black box signals by Devil and Popola from NieR Replicant. Using the scanner leads 2B back to the underground where she and 9S last saw Adam and Eve, but to a different section in the underground leading to a bright white city. There she finds 9S staked to the wall by Adam, who has gotten so high on human experience that he decides to cut himself off from the machine network to feel the thrill of the fight where he can die fighting against 2B.
Is this death?
Having gotten her dearly beloved 9S back, 2B takes him to recover in the bunker. While now working alone, 2B accompanies Pascal to the new party of machines broken from the network who have settled into the abandoned factory. Pascal's village and this new settlement are supposed to sign a peace treaty, but a freak accident is seen as a divine declaration of how these religious machines will become gods.
His wondrous grace has become a god. Wondrous grace has become a god. We as well shall become as gods. We as well shall become as gods. All of you shall become as gods.
2B and Pascal are forced to flee with 2B fighting and protecting the pacifist Pascal. 9S hacks his way to help them remotely from the bunker, and after another Goliath-class machine boss fight, 2B and Pascal manage to escape the factory. By this point, however, the machines have begun to go haywire and begin attacking androids and the other machines, forcing 2B to do what her prime directive has been for the entire game. That previous Goliath machine boss then returns after 2B has helped a Nemones resistance camp survive the machine's attack, and 9S returns to assist her in active duty. Eve then appears as the final boss of the playthrough route and has to be fought on multiple forms as she throws tantrums over Adam's death. Then he retreats and sends more machines to attack Pascal's village, which includes these damn serpent models which are a pain in the ass to defeat with just 2B's close combat fighting style. Finally, Eve lands into the pit created in the middle of the city ruins, and the final battle against the administrator of the machine network, Rise over his fallen brothers, begins. Eve is 2 levels above 2B, and getting his health low enough before he starts healing himself back requires a lot of timing-based skill, as well as enough health items of your own. Ultimately, 9S hacks into Eve and the boss fight evolves into a similar kind of bullet hell where Rage Chase gives a damn good performance in voicing Eve. And damages 2B so much that she can't fight without her boss shooting back at Eve. Then Eve grows tired of fighting and lets 2B stab him in the neck, killing him. However, hacking into Eve exposed 9S to the machine virus, and 2B is forced to reluctantly kill him so the virus won't spread from him. But to give out some kind of happy ending to this playthrough, 9S manages to transfer his consciousness to the nearby machines, and so this version of him lives to fight on another day with 2B. But this is not where the game itself ends, as after the credits have rolled, the player is given a personal message from Square Enix PR department thanking for playing the game and highly recommending them to play through the game again for the full NieR Automata experience. And this leads us to Route B. This time the game begins from 9S's point of view to show what he was doing while 2B was flying her way into the event of the prologue. After witnessing a machine trying and failing to wake up its brother, 9S is given a mission by his operator 210 to defuse the security system of the factory in a familiar bullet hell kind of gameplay. Here a new gameplay feature exclusive to 9S is introduced in the form of a hacking minigame, which is also a bullet hell where you need to control a cursor that can only take 3 hits before failing through a maze-like structure and destroy your target under varying time limits. After finishing this mission, 9S heads to where he originally met 2B in Route A.
Better make sure he's actually dead next time. That was dangerous, man. You're 2B, right? My name's 9S. I'm here to provide support.
Copy that.
And then takes a detour through the factory before joining 2B in the boss fight against the Engels model Goliath class machine. It all goes pretty much the same as it did last time.
Shut up! Just do what I say!
9S's hacking is however given more presence in showing how much weight he pulled during the boss fight here.
You just die already!
Once again, 2B and 9S are forced to kamikaze each other and reboot on the bunker before the commander once again sends them to make contact with a Nemones resistance camp, and are once again sent to the desert zone to witness the birth of Adam and Eve. On the way there, however, there are some new added encounters that were not present in Route A, such as this very durable machine who attacks 2B and 9S in the name of revenge. whose attacks are so powerful that you really need to use 9S's hacking abilities to wear them down, since he is not built for combat like 2B is. Then there is this cutscene before they reach the abandoned apartment complex ruins. Remembering Jorma Tapio's teachings from the Matti Nykänen movie.
Sä näet silmissä sen lavan eteen pakkautuneen kiimasen kissala. Milläköhän korkeudella niiden silmät kiinni?
Tää on nyt joku kompura.
No sun munien korkeudella tietenkin. Eihän ne näe susta muuta kuin pelkät munat. Kaikki perustuu sun muniin, koko sun uskottavuus sillä lauteilla.
Adam's first form is defeated, with 2B and 9S left to continue repeating what happened in the previous playthrough. When reaching the boss fight against Simone in the Amusement Park, 9S's hacking goes deeper into her memories and reveals more of how she went from a regular machine to this boss by stealing parts of her fellow machine friends in order to become more beautiful. This is another sad example of how the machines cut out from the network have developed individual personalities, and in Simone's case, she became obsessed with becoming beautiful by sacrificing her friends. Also, she could impress another machine she was in love with, but who never noticed her. In her final moments as 2B and 9S defeat her, Simone reflects to how it all had been for nothing, as the one she had been in love with never paid any attention to her, and ended up losing her mind over what she had done to herself. After fighting Simone, everything once again goes pretty much like the last time. Meeting Pascal in his village, fighting more Engels models in the Goliath class machines, the revelation of the underground where the aliens are dead, and this time, leading up to Adam and Eve reveal themselves now in charge of the machine network, there are new scenes of them sitting down, talking about the humans, and some implications I never want to learn what they mean.
Can we play together for a bit?
Fine.
Oh, great. Then I'll eat lots of fruit.
Play together as in do what? And then the commander tells 2B and 9S to investigate machines like Pascal. While on the bunker as 9S, I came across his operator 210, who gave him a mission to collect old world data from the old factory.
Operator 210 to 9S, come in.
This is 9S.
I received the data you sent. It's fascinating. It appears to be the journal of a human who once worked in the factory.
What, like a diary?
Yes. According to this, the man worked long hours on an almost daily basis. He says, and I quote, "They're working me like a machine. Working like a machine to build a machine?" Humans truly were strange creatures.
Sounds like it.
I'll send you a reward later.
Wait, I can get rewarded for doing this?
I didn't say you would not get a reward.
No, but... Hey, don't disconnect me.
210 appreciates 9S for getting this old world data and in her own, cold and distant way, by giving him a reward. Going to meet with Pascal then once again sends 2B and 9S to the Forest Kingdom. They meet Emile once again on the way there, and then the journey to the Forest Kingdom is cut into random cutscenes explaining why the Forest King was a baby. Originally, the Forest Kingdom was founded by a large machine life form whose body eventually expired, and his consciousness was planted into a body 2B and 9S eventually found. The machines would have wanted to see their leader grow up to become their leader once more, but were unable to comprehend the fact that machines can't grow up. So, for the next hundreds of years, the Forest King was left powerless to influence his subjects to put him into another body, and could only watch as his kingdom crumbled until A2 came to put him out of his misery. After A2 runs away again, 2B and 9S once again go through Pascal to Anemone to learn more about her, and then Operator 210 goes to praise 9S for his accomplishments with a tsundere gratitude.
9S, this is your regularly scheduled contact.
Yeah, no problems here.
Copy that. I also need to inform you that the commander offers her personal praise for your recent achievements. As a direct result, we are currently considering boosting production of your model.
Really? I'm happy to hear it. I couldn't have done it without your support, Operator. You're always so cool under fire, not to mention beautiful and...
Flattery is unnecessary. Operator 210 out.
I really meant it, though.
Not long after that, 210 awkwardly calls 9S quickly again and asks him to go collect some more old-world data from the apartment complex ruined in the desert zone. Based on 9S's findings, 210 learns of the concept of a family, and in lowering her guard, lets it slip that she may have familiar feelings towards 9S.
Assisted in small familial units.
Familial?
A family is a group of people that share a connection by blood or social custom. If androids had a similar system of families...
Operator? Are you there?
I've said too much. I must return to my duties.
And she disconnected me.
She big sisterly bribes 9S to keep his mouth shut about them by bribing him with a new weapon as a reward. And then we reach the same point where 2B and 9S had to defend the cannon before being sent to fight the Goliath-type machine in the sea. On the way there, they also came across the durable machine hell-bent on revenge for the last time, and are confused about how a machine could have learned of the concept.
I was planning to die regardless. My friends are dead. My family is dead. You killed them all. And left me alone. I don't have the strength to continue. It hurts. I'm sorry. Everyone, I couldn't avenge you. Accursed androids. How much longer will you torment us? You damn monsters!
This Goliath machine is also given some story insights similar to Simone and the Forest King in this playthrough, in revealing that it was originally childlike in its behavior and personality. This was the point where 9S originally went missing in 2B's playthrough, and now he is in a hacking mode in the machine network, where he learns that the machines have a built-in flaw where they cannot improve in imitating human behavior, but can only do the same mistakes over and over again. The only thing they can learn is in combat behavior, that is also dependent on repeating the same mistakes over and over again with more powerful combat means. Adam eventually finds his way to connect with him and has an interesting conversation with 9S in comparing the machines and androids as the same, which causes 9S to respond with clear aggression and leads to Adam into baiting the player into this.
I couldn't believe it was her. It was like a dream. But there she was, just like I remembered her. That delicately beautiful face, and a body that could melt a cheese sandwich from across the room. And breasts that seemed to say, "Hey, look at these." She was the kind of woman that made you want to drop to your knees and thank God you were a man. Yeah.
You're thinking about how much you want to be, aren't you? For the English language, there is more than one four-lettered word that fits here, and it's not what you think. Eventually, in the real world, 2B finds 9S in Adam's mercy, kills him just like last time, and takes 9S to recover in the bunker. As we know what 2B was doing on her playthrough, now 9S is shown rebooting himself, but delays data synchronization for both himself and 2B after getting weird noises that make him hack into the Yorha server. There he learns more confidential records of the Council of Humanity was founded as a part of Project Yorha, which 9S always assumed to be the other way around. This causes 9S to log out and learn of 2B's situation in the old factory, leading him to helping her and Pascal escape from there as he did in 2B's playthrough. For this part we play as different machines 9S hacks into in trying to reach 2B and Pascal, and in my case I ended up with a completely different machine than what was shown from 2B's point of view.
Whoa! 2B! It's me, 9S! 2B! It's me, 9S!
After regrouping with them, 9S begins to hack 2B's and Pascal's escape route, during which it is possible to come across hidden records linking back to the project Gestalt in NieR Replicant. To those people who played the original NieR game on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, these were nice Easter eggs, and to those who didn't, a strong incentive to wait for the 2021 remake. After having helped 2B and Pascal escape the factory, 9S is confronted by the commander for hacking into the Yorha server, and is told the truth that rivals to learning that Santa doesn't exist. As we would have already known from the ending E of Drakengard and the events of NieR Replicant.
Humans were already extinct when the aliens attacked. All the details are stored on this memory chip. If you want to look at it, I won't stop you.
Wait, you're just giving me this? But why?
No one fights without a reason. And we need a god worth dying for. What path will you take? It's up to you to decide.
Humanity went extinct long before the aliens invaded Earth, and the Council of Humanity had been made up as something that Yorha androids need to fight and die for. All that remains of the humanity is just some basic genomes archived on the Moon server. 9S doesn't get much time to process that before he gets alerted of the increased machine activity and has to go assist 2B in fighting Eve. When leaving to Earth via a flight unit, a holographic figure of a red girl is visible for a few seconds. 2B and 9S regroup in fighting Eve, just like the previous time. This time, as we play as 9S, we can see how he hacked into Eve originally and got infected with the machine virus that forced 2B to kill his body, with the red girls observing from blind spots 2B can see them from. Which then leads to 9S transferring his consciousness to the nearby machines. Route B ends just like Route A did, but this time the credits lead to 2B once again being a playable character in the bunker, and preparing for an upcoming assault on the machines, now that Adam and Eve or even the aliens are no longer controlling them. 9S once again is in a new body who also gives 2B items to help in an upcoming battle, and returning to her quarters. The game provides a black and white preview of what will be incoming in the future, but instead of being about a sequel game, this is all about the next playthrough, Route C. Stay tuned for part 2 where I go into explaining what happens there by remembering to like this video, commenting what you think about this game down below, share it to more people to see, and stay subscribed for when part 2 comes out. Also, ding the bell for the chance to chat with me on gameplay streams, and may your heart be a guiding key.